have an absolute legend with us. She's best known for her withering looks, her pursed lips, and her general lack of people skills when she's playing one of our favorite characters. She makes us laugh, she makes us cry, and she named her own tambourine. It's Shereen Khan, who plays Miriam.
What are you guys doing?
Oh my gosh,
here?
we're so sorry. We did not mean to take you off guard like that. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I think I'm still drinking this.
Still drinking. Okay, that's fine. We could
You
just.
guys, it's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you.
We're so excited for this episode of Women's Hour.
No one is more excited than me.
Oh.
Yeah,
All right,
so
now
I
it's a
win.
competition.
No. Game on.
That's interesting
Let's
and
go.
very Miriam of you.
Got two good friends here, Maddie and Bethany.
We're friends.
I got it. Of course, you guys are friends.
So for our very first season of Women's Hour, we wanted to just give our fans and give Maddie and I an opportunity to get to know more about you and kind of what your journey has looked like to make it to the Promised Land, our show.
Thank you for the forum to do that. I mean, it's a topic that I'm very passionate about, obviously. I think we all are. But and I love framing it as the Promised Land because in my journey, it really feels that way. I'm coming home to a creative life. And so in the beginning,
We're starting at Genesis.
That's right. Here we go. Second, ladies. But I did. So I grew up in Burbank. Like where a lot of the acting comes from, where a lot of industry is anyway. And so it's sort of always adjacently in my life. I got to study theater at LACSA, which locally there is like a big performing arts high school. And that was an incredible honor, to this day. Conservatory education and was all pumped up to go out into the world and be an actor. And I just didn't. And just because of a couple of twists and turns, one of which was I ended up doing music for a little while. And then, which included kiddie rock band music.
What?
And it didn't happen immediately, but basically I just did everything else but acting for a while. It was so strange. And so the reason being, I figured out later on in life, was that it was something I loved so much that I was petrified at failing at it, right? And so this is the thing we do, I guess. But
I do that too.
do you? Do you relate to that? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know for a
surprising.
fact I'm going to fail at it, and I love it too much to ruin it for myself. So I'm just going to let it live in dream world.
That's right, and we keep it a big secret from ourselves. It's so true, and I think that's I ponder. I think about that a lot, because we don't want to keep ourselves from, the things that we're really meant to do. But sometimes on the other hand, they take the time they take. And that's one of the things I got to learn in my life. And so along the way, I had these amazing experiences from teaching children's martial arts, being in this kiddie rock band.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Can you do martial arts?
I used to be able to do martial arts. I did it for like 5 years. I worked at the studio, and it was Taekwondo, Hapkido. It was a really big part of my life.
Okay, you have to teach me.
I can teach you, but like it's like that and like Samba. Like you can intellectually know it, but like the fitness level. But 100%, it was so fun to do. I got to work with family and kids then. I, again, was in music. And so for about 12 years, I toured with a band called Gwendolyn and the Good Time Gang, which you can see on YouTube still. I encourage it because it's like, I'm really proud of it.
Were you Gwendolyn or you the Good Time?
No, Gwendolyn is actually one of my best friends in the world. Shout out to Gwendolyn. Hey, Gwenny.
Hey, Gwen.
And she's was a good friend then, and doing music, and with her now husband Brandon, who's also a dear friend. Hey, Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
And a band of friends and musicians who were just sort of like in the LA scene together, doing music in their own rights for the big kids. Got together and did this band, and I was invited to be a part of it, and got to sing background and do some dancing and And we created this stage show.
Wow.
And we got to tour around a bit.
Oh,
We
how
played Lollapalooza, their
No
Kidsapalooza
way.
stage. We played the Geffen. We played House of Blues. And it was this really cool thing we got to do for a little while. At the same time, I also had a day job that I just kept being good at. And then I got headhunted and got to work for a major studio. And slowly my career shifted into that world.
Is this the big one you told me about?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I got to work at Focus Features. I'm very proud of that experience. I received a lot of incredible mentorship for that job and things I take into life and things I was ultimately able to take into, my transition back into acting. And because it strengthened me in so many different ways. And I just credit it for so much of not just the practical understanding of the entertainment industry, but also just, it was very character strengthening for me. And so as I reflect on the timing of coming back into acting, I only know now that like I couldn't have really done it, in the way that would keep me safe and represent just a better realized version of myself. Had I not gone through the paces. It was a really big crossroad for me. And I just understood finally, as I was leaving that job, that the timing of them laying me off was perfect because I was ready. I was like, oh, I get it. I can do that for this thing, the thing I'm here to do,
That's
the reason
beautiful.
I'm here for,
Yeah.
So it was really moving. I still kind of get, a little emotional about.
Did you feel like this may be a wild question? Did you feel like excited when it happened? A little bit?
A little bit.
Like it's terrifying, but like
It was all the things. Yes. I knew oh, here we go. We're going to do this finally. But it was an ego death of sorts. Because one of the things that happens when you're in a job like that is that it becomes a part of your identity. And so I had to lose that, I had to, and that is its own process, its own grieving process. As you can imagine, everyone's been through some version of being let go, one way or another. And even if it's the best thing in the world and it still is a letting go. It's an ending. And so I had to, go through those emotions, but ultimately and pretty quickly, because I was like, all right, onward to this next thing. I was ready and did some soul searching. And so and yet it wasn't immediate. Like I started doing commercials.
Yeah.
Commercials
Of
are
course.
fun. Yeah.
what commercials were you in?
The first commercial I did was massive, actually.
Really?
And I took it as a sign. I was like, okay, thank you. And that's exactly what I needed. It was a national commercial for Zell starring Daveed Diggs of Hamilton and Blackish fame.
Wow.
And it was I don't know if you know about like the whole like actors getting a national commercial. It's like we all hope it's such a a good paying situation. Commercials, as commercials go, it's like the highest tier. But so that was just wild to get one right out the gate. Like it was just that's why I was like,
You were like, I've arrived.
this bodes well. Honestly, I was like,
I booked a national commercial and I have arrived.
they want me. I don't know. Like I don't know. Clearly, they want. It was so cool because it was like this whole ensemble thing. It was shot on the same lot that How I Met Your Mother was shot in that little New York street area, and he wrote a rap for it. You can find it on YouTube still.
God.
To pay safely. Yeah, it's backed by the bank.
Telling you Zelle is for everybody. It keeps money moving for students and parents and slackers and makers, movers and shakers, and it's safe and available.
So one of the things I thought I could do was take my knowledge in post-production and like maybe I'll be like a sound artist.
Wow.
So this was like this
I
whole...
can picture it with when you have the glasses on. I can picture you like really close to the
Yeah.
the screen.
Let's give it the vision.
You have to see
So,
these glasses.
Let's see. Like this is one.
Doesn't she look so clever and poised?
Don't act. Because acting.
Ooh.
Not smart. Very smart.
I could see that. That is the Shereen who maybe does post sound.
Yeah, absolutely. And she does need the glasses for that. But yeah, and so, but one of the cool like things that came out of that was, and it was just sort of funny because I was trying to make sense of like everything I had done in at the studio with like this post production adjacency and some of the music that I'd done. I was like, oh, I'll do sound. That makes sense, because part of me, as much as I was going back into acting, I was also feeling like I needed to be a responsible adult and get a real job.
Yeah.
Boo.
So cheers.
For our people who are listening who don't know what Foley is, could you give us like a 30-second description of what that means?
Absolutely, yeah. It is a part of sound, post audio sound design for movies and television, typically that adds human sound. So any active sounds like footsteps is a common.
We're always crunching leaves and
crunching
stuff.
leaves,
Yeah.
or your fights, your crushing celery for bone breaks in horror movies. So it's an active sound
And
effect.
acting out.
And
sound
you get to
effects.
act it to the screen, and so like you're walking with the actors, and then you're doing like these little choreographies, really, like clothing for every move, or like creaking. So anytime an actor moves, the sound effects on them is Foley rather than sound effects, which is other external things like chair creak that on its own, or door creak. Like that stuff is like pulled from a library, or they record it separately, but a person does.
Yeah. They're always the ones pulling out like the most random things to make a sound. Where like,
Totally.
if you've ever seen a video of like, oh, we took this random thing to make a bone break, you're like, what?
Exactly.
But it sounds
It's
just
always
like
food.
it.
It's always food. It's some sort of food item. Yeah, like in celery is like definitely like the classic one. And that ended up parlaying into, I did LA Theater Works. They were doing radio shows of known plays. So I was brought on for Watch on the Rhine. And so because it's a radio show, they did a Foley element that was live. And so it becomes its own performative spectacle on stage. And so that was fun.
Cool.
And then that lent into something that I did in Montana. In Bozeman, Montana, there's a lovely group, with the Children's Shakespeare Theater called Small Batch Arts, and they hired me to do an annual live Foley event. And anyway, so that was fun. And like my acting just kept on running to come.
It's getting like closer and closer
Yeah.
and closer.
Yeah, exactly. And then honestly, COVID hit, and then in that same interim, now we are at the portal where the promised land actually comes up. Yeah.
We've arrived.
We've arrived. I was like, I'm not going to waste my time auditioning for short films, or like I just had like bad attitude about not auditioning for things that weren't like streaming, major network, established shows. And I was like, that's it. I'm just going to put myself in this lane, and that's it. I'm sticking to it. And, my agent, I think, was pretty much on board with that too. And I saw the breakdown for the Promised Land in Actors Access. And Actors Access is a portal that we all use, but our agents use it, but they have visibility, but things that tend to cast a wider net, which I think Promised Land was doing at that point to get specific type of response. I think when it happens, like when there's like a specific ethnicity that people are looking for, various reasons why they would like bring it outside of like the agents. And I looked at it and I read the character breakdown for Miriam, which was really well written. Everything was about it was well written. It was very clear off the page, sort of what was, meant to be done. And I just thought it was brilliant to take the Moses story and handle it as a comedic sitcom, and likening it to The Office. I knew exactly in my mind what that style would feel like. And the breakdown for Miriam, starting with just how dry she is, and that she's like the overlooked, maybe sometimes smartest person in the room. I forget what the breakdown said exactly. And then that she like lets all of her aggression out on a tambourine, like behind the scenes. It was the exact like kind of character juxtaposition that I was like, it was so, my casting, as they say. And it just really, like, immediately I was like, I have to at least audition for this. Like, it was so good and so funny. And so I submitted myself for it and I got the audition. I was super thrilled about that. So that was on my own accord, like outside of my agent.
Wow.
After I made like drew a line in the sand, and I was like, but this,
This
come
is
on.
different. You don't understand.
There's
Like-
exceptions to every rule, you know?
Yeah, like, and I was like, yeah. So I threw my hat in, and then I got the sides, and the scenes were like, I mean, it was basically like the scenes from the pilot. There are two of them.
My name is Miriam. I am Moses and Aaron's sister. I'm one of the few women in the camp who can read and write. I'm also what you might call a musical prodigy.
And I just had a blast doing auditions. And look, I try to have a blast doing every audition. It's not always available or possible, but I always have a blast when I feel like that aligned with the character, like, or I have a very clear point of view, and I know that it will come very fluidly through my body. Like I'm like, I know this. And so I went with it, and I just yeah. In a way, the rest is history. I got the callback. Callback was on Zoom with Mitch and Sunday and and it was
Sunny and Meg.
Sunny and Meg. But I just remember doing the callback, and I did the audition without an accent. I just did it like my regular accent. And
I mean,
then,
how would you know what it was supposed to be at that point?
yeah, I had nothing to go. I thought for a second like maybe I would do try something, but it's like no, I did it the way I did. And so at the callback is when they introduced the idea of putting the accent on it, and so I sort of like in real time, okay, and then we did a little improv thing, and I think it was just like super simple, like, and Mitch was like, great. Okay, thanks. And I was like, well, I didn't get that. I was like, well, that was fun. But I honestly didn't think I got it at all. Like, just because I don't know. Zoom is tough because, like, you don't have any biorhythms to read off of. And, really, like, I shouldn't do that anyway. Because you don't know. You just don't know. That's part of the actor experience. It's like we constantly are trying to figure out how to crack the code of, like, casting, and we don't know. But anyway, yeah. When did I get the news? I was working. I had taken a short stint at Showtime, and I was working there, and I was also realizing there, because that was me trying to be the responsible adult again.
Yeah.
And I stopped, because, well, basically, that whole experience was teaching me that I didn't belong in the corporate world anymore, and I was it had already kind of crossed over. And I got the news while I was at work at Showtime that I got cast in the Promised Land pilot, and I didn't. Oh yeah, I didn't know it was pilot yet.
What did you know
I
about
thought it was a new media like short for just for like release on YouTube or something at some point. And it wasn't until we traveled and like I met up with everybody in New Mexico that there was like people like, I think it's pilot. It was pilot. And I was like,
so everybody didn't know.
I don't know why.
I don't know if we were necessarily we were calling it a proof of concept at that time because we didn't know what would happen. Like, I know even Mitch has said multiple times when he wrote the pilot, he wrote it with the mindset of, if this is the only thing I get to write for the Promised Land, then it better be good. So I think all of us at that time, we never imagined where we would be today. And so we were like, yeah, we're making this proof of concept with no money and we'll see where it goes. And and then I think it turned out so well, so much further beyond what any of us thought it would be. I think we were like, oh, this can be like the pilot of our show. Like it is good enough for that. And so I think at the time, I don't even know if
Yeah,
we
I mean,
fully knew
I
it was
think
gonna be
like
a
some of the
pilot.
breakdowns, like maybe Miriam's breakdown was like one of the earlier ones put out or something, because some of the breakdowns seem to allude to it, and maybe mine didn't, but or I just terrible reader, but that's completely possible. But I just remember like going into it with thinking it was one thing, and then being so excited.
Wow.
To hear that, because one of the first things that happened was, Mitch met us after Trifina and I flew in on the same plane, and then he met us and took us to dinner, and then just gave us a rundown of like kind of what he saw this a season looking like, and I was just the whole time like, a season, like, that's
Who are you,
just
crazy
so
bald
cool.
man?
No, not at all. I was just like, what is this? Like, and honestly, in the back of my mind, it was just like all of this. And I think we all, when we muse about the experience, from the early days and throughout, there's a sense of, like we never want to be anywhere but where we are. But there's always been a sense of like, this is a good thing. This is really like a solid story, uh, with beautiful purpose and uh, excellent and intelligent writing when handling like the comedy. And we all come from like different, you know, comedy backgrounds. I think like like sketch comedy and comedy is like some of the first stuff that inspired me, just everybody having like a closeness to what good comedy is. Like we saw it like right off the bat that it's something we knew we could all be proud of, and then the idea that it just always seemed that it could go, like that it could do, that it could be a success, is what I mean by that. Again, without putting too much on it, there's always been a feeling of like, oh yeah, this feels like it's gonna happen. I don't know.
What was that like to be like partners in crime of like maybe I guess for the whole thing here, but especially from the get go, I feel like it's been the Miriam and Zippy tag team duo.
Yeah.
Was that like immediately fun to be like we are the ladies and we are together in almost every scene, right?
Yeah, like eventually, right? Because the pilot sets us up as um, as opposites, and it tees up that's going to be the tension of this odd coupling, and it does so brilliantly, and leaves us off in a space where they're going to try to work together, and then so that when we pick it up for the rest of the season, you know there's this effort like Miriam from the pilot to episode 2, now that they've walked to made the walk to Sinai, and she's been bestowed leadership for the women of the tribe. Like she has to go through um this growth, or like just force herself into a an attitude of community, which is very much against what where she's coming from, and I think it's just so fun right off the bat that we're met with that kind of resistance with her, and she's like a little awkward in everything she does, and I had so much fun, like she's awkward in her body, like going along the river, and then like but then like honestly really trying immediately, like going from like being completely closed off and reticent and just, oh please don't, to like actually being the active reacher, and to like Leia, and then but with regard to a relationship with Zipporah, also this full acceptance of sisterhood. This is her brother's wife, and that she's invited her in to help her with this leadership in a way, to sort of bridge the gap of where her weaknesses are, specifically with people skills and bedside mannerisms, and indeed, we have our first women's hour. Zippy's there to sort of soften the blow between Miriam's decided formality and big ideas, and Zippy's always there to sort of like welcome people in and like smooth and like and be uh, just like the warm hug everybody needs on the way into the tent, and And yeah, and it is just a blast to work with Trifina. She's so like immersed in Zibra's effervescence and it's really fun to play off of because as in the beginning it's there's a resistance but ultimately um an acceptance and appreciation for the sisterhood. And then as we go through the season, um I think like when, particularly when like they're designing the women's tent together, when that comes up, that's a fun way to see how now Miriam is getting around those moments rather than acting out in like frustration or not knowing what to do. She's trying new things like, well, let's maybe see what the other women have to say, or like thinking like she's taking care of her, and
Well, and even when like Miriam stands up for Zippy,
yeah.
with Cora, I feel like that's such a special moment because I feel like you're often like really seeing Miriam's um issues. Like often you're seeing Miriam's, deadpanness or her inability to budge, or like she's not very friendly, and Zippy just seems like this perfect, flower next to her. But it's such a cool moment to see that in when Miriam stands up for her, it's because in that moment Zippy needs help. And like Miriam's strength then shines through for her, to support her. So I've really enjoyed watching you guys play off of each other. I feel like when you're in it in the scene together, like the chemistry is unreal. It's perfection.
It's certainly so fun to play, and I love that moment too, because it's like through you, like it was Miriam, I think, is often her own worst enemy because she so leans into her intelligence, and it's one of those moments where like she's able to have a breakthrough based on having like the recognition of like, oh, the way that I feel overlooked now, my sister's being overlooked, and wait a minute, I have this opportunity, and what am I going to do, with it? Am I going to lean into in a way like Cora's design was Miriam's design, and that upsets her and makes her feel like like, wait a minute, am I on the wrong side of things? Like she lets it open her eyes rather than leaning to like see the guys, like it could have gone a different way, like and yet it's a breakthrough moment for her, and she whenever Miriam shows true leadership, it is when she releases and was able to be vulnerable and then and stand up, and that's also a reason why I love that moment. Yeah, it's a gift.
Totally. I wanted to go back to kind of your journey. You mentioned several key women who have like impacted you or have really opened doors for you. And you talked about a few different ones, but is there one person in particular that when you look back over like your career, like you're like, man, like without this person, I wouldn't be who I am, or like I wouldn't have taken that leap of faith that I needed to take?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say it's my mother is like, like if it's down to one person, her steadfastness in supporting, what some mothers might look at as a woman of fancy, all the way from the beginning when I was able to go to LOXA, the Performing Arts High School, which was outside of our school district, and required to travel from like Burbank to, it was on a college campus like a half an hour away. I'd have to drive. Like it introduced all of these, things that my parents weren't comfortable with right off the bat, right? My dad's very Indian, and they like to like put he likes to put everything in like some sort of parable, and he's like, and I laugh about this one to this day, and he's like, I don't understand. He's like, it's like if you want Kentucky Fried Chicken, but you go to Kentucky to get it. And I'm like, Dad, I'm not sure that's exactly. I mean, I see what you're saying, but but it's different. It's not chicken. So it wasn't that he was entirely unsupportive. He just like couldn't fathom, and Burbank schools were so great and all of this. And so my ability to go to that school, which was really like fundamental and life-changing in so many ways. And, I can't put enough emphasis on that because it just set me up as an artist. But my dad was really resistant, and but I had to have the paper signed by my parents in order to even audition, you know, to see if I could even gain entry.
Wow.
And my dad was adamantly not going to sign them. He's like, no, you don't get to, like this. Not you don't get to go. Like he I think he was worried. Like he thought it was unsafe. And I came home from school one day, and the signed papers were on my bed, and my mom had signed them.
Oh.
And she was like, she kind of like went behind my dad's back a little bit, but she's like, you know what? No, she saw that I wanted it really badly. She saw how passionate I was, and I think she really, like, you know, in the back of her mind, she really, and my dad too. Like he always said, he wanted me. I expressed that I wanted to be an actor from a very young age, and he he said he supported that, but he like had a vision for like what my schooling, my education would look like, and going to Loxa didn't fit that for him, but my mom saw beyond it, and so she was like, she helped mobilize that, you know, from the get-go. And throughout my life, she's just been, you know, a major supporter. And when whenever I lean towards something more creatively, she doesn't always understand it, because it's not where she would have normally what she would have normally done, or risks that she would have normally taken, because she is pretty much self-made, and came from extreme poverty in, you know, in Chicago. And she came up in, you know, with my dad, and then my dad passed away when I was 19. And you know, at these pivotal times when, you know, I was going into adulthood, and you know, she you know, if she wrote the book for where I would go, it would have been much more traditional, and you know, and in ways that she saw more financially secure. But I tended to make you know, take risks along the way that she ultimately really, even if she was concerned, ultimately trusted me in a way that was very empowering for me, because if I have my mother's faith, then like without it I can't do anything, you know. So so first and foremost, you know, like, and to this day, like even like going into it in my adult life at this later stage of my life, she supported me in every way imaginable, so that like I really couldn't do anything without her.
Shout out to mom.
Yeah, Mom. Dorothy Marie Khan.
Yeah.
You're
I
a
really
superstar.
vibe with the statement of, it almost got me too. I was like, oh, don't make me emotional, Shereen. But the statement of like, if I have my mom's support, kind of like I can do anything.
It's true.
Because I think in the back of your mind, you're always kind of looking, you know, like when a kid is on the playground and they look back at their mom, is this okay? Yeah,
That never goes away.
it never goes
doesn't,
away.
yeah.
Yeah, like even, you know, even though you have your own decisions and you grow up and you're a full-blown adult, I think all of us still feels that like, if she thinks this is super dangerous and terrible and I should not do it, maybe I shouldn't. But if she supports me, even if she's scared, if she still supports me and trusts me, I trust me. And I think there's something to that.
100%. Like you know, I read the scripts with her. You know, like it's like with like one of the things that, you know, on the way out after I do my coaching and everything, I'll do a reading with my mom, and she loves. You know, it's a fun way to spend time. She loves to be a part of it, you know, and I love having her be a part of it. And so she, uh, sh- we read, I can't, well, one of the days we sat down and watched some of season 1 together.
Oh.
And anyway, just at the end of it, she's just like, I am so proud of you, like in the most earnest way, like, you know, and I just remember going to my car after on my way home, and I had to record like a little like Instagram story. I was like, I'm a woman of a certain age, and there's one thing truer than truth. Like your mommy saying she's proud of you is like, it never gets old. It never be like it is. Yeah, it's always the best thing you can hear.
Yeah.
Like making your mom proud.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's yeah, she's a gift, man. Like I have to say, like,
Mom.
We have a special game for you.
so bad at games, you guys.
So this game is just kind of like a who's most likely to blank, and then if you wouldn't mind raising your stick and saying the name for the viewers
The
who
character
are
name or the
Both, if you can.
you can do both if you want to.
and this is most likely to as the character or as the
As the cast member, not
As
the
the
character.
cast
as
member.
a human being.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
the
I know
human
they're
being.
in costume, but these are your cast members.
This is so hard.
Yeah.
Is she allowed to pick herself?
Totally.
And you can pick yourself.
All right. So your first one, which cast member could you last 40 years in the desert with?
Whoa! Well, come on, my girl. No, Zipporah or Trifina Wade.
Zipporah.
40 years, last 40 years in the
Yeah.
desert. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's 100.
Do you think you guys would survive, or do you think
Would we?
like yes? Okay.
100%.
You'd find water. You'd find shelter.
We'd find water. We'd find shelter. She'd make pretty things, and I'd make music. We'd make music together.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Which cast member makes you laugh the hardest?
Aw, I mean, can I like?
It's everybody.
It's
You didn't pick up yourself.
well, I mean, if I laughed at myself all the time, I'd be crazy.
And you're not crazy.
So funny.
You got to fan them out. Fantastic.
It is pure magic, and yeah, I mean, they're all funny in their own right individually, of course, but this is where the magic is.
I also like how well you went through all their names, first and last, and character name. I feel like I struggle with that, where I look at Marvin and I'm like, Caleb. And
No,
I'm like,
you're an A student like
Marvin.
me. Yeah. You could do it. You could do
For
it.
me, it depends if they're in costume or not. Like, if, like, the minute you guys step into your costumes, I'm like, yeah, that's Miriam. Shireen doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's
Like-
here, I'll do the. I'll disappear.
Oh.
I'm not here anymore.
So, our next question, which cast member is the most likely to get stuck in character?
Stuck in character. I mean, stuck in character. They all have the tendency to like morph a little bit. I want to say it's going to be between these two guys here. Like, you know.
Wasim and Brad.
Yeah, Wasim
Yeah.
and Brad as Moses and Korah, for different reasons. Moses, and Wasim,
We do it to him.
it's happening. Yeah, like I just see like everybody's excellently cast, but like the energy of like Moses just being like this sort of like he's just comes with really good leadership qualities. Like like you want to follow this guy.
Mhm.
And then and Brad is just like 100% like excellent all around. Like the physical comedy just lives and stays with him.
Yeah.
And yeah, and he's constantly just like dancing the dance, the
Yeah.
Korah dance, and it's
Yeah.
brilliant. Everybody's brilliant.
I do think the two of them, I will be in conversation with them as themselves, and then suddenly, I'm not sure who I'm talking to.
Well, and they
Is
stay
it
in the
Korah?
accent,
Yeah.
as the most consistently, and which I love. And I've started to do that too. It is a handy little device to like not lose your R's.
Sure.
It's
Ours are
the
hard.
R's are hard.
Well, and Brad will email as Cora. Like his emails come through, and I'm like, "What is this? Who am I talking to?"
Rob. Seriously? That's
We
next
assigned it
level.
as Brad, but
Yeah.
it's pretty Korra coded.
That's
So that makes sense.
perfect.
It's me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
Last one.
Last question: which cast member secretly loves their costume and wants to wear it home?
Go fish? I don't know.
Do you think everyone hates wearing their costume?
anyone
If
love the
you
tunas?
count the tambourine,
It's you.
but only the tambourine.
Do you think Tamara is what you'll steal at the end of the show, like the last season?
I don't know. I mean, when you put it that way,
I mean, I would look
yes.
Well, Shireen, thanks so much for sitting down with us and chatting and telling us
Thank
a little
you.
bit about your story.
Thank you for listening.
This has been so fun.
Yeah, likewise for me as well. Really, yeah, just a blast always to hang out with you guys, and thank you for giving me the chance to tell my tale.
We love it. You've got a lot of amazing tales.
Thanks. Yeah,
The more I hear, the more excited I am.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time on Women's Hour. It went bad.